right, everyone. We are alive, like the song says, by Eric Tyler. Look him up on Facebook. And here we are back to Live Your Dream. It's about you. And I am so excited and honored to have Love of Animals here with us. And they brought some pets that are up for adoption. And you guys have known this because I've shared it before, but animals are near and dear to my heart. As a matter of fact, I am a happy supporter, and I'm also a happy client, as I've adopted rabbits and dogs from this wonderful organization. As a matter of fact, this is Barbara and this is Laurie, and I have one of Barbara's dogs. So I'm just so honored that both of them are here. They do a great job. They work so hard taking care of the animals. And anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce them. Like I said, this is Barbara Kaler and this is Laurie Eberle. She's the president, Laurie's the president, and I'll have them talk about the animals or talk about the organization or whatever else they'd like to talk about.
Well, I'll talk about the organization first. Love of Animals came into existence as a nonprofit organization in December of 2003. It was started by some concerned Visalians about the treatment of animals, and because we do not have any no-kill shelters in our county.
Right.
So they stepped up and they formed the group, and it's a no-kill. So once they come into our organization, we do not euthanize unless it's an incurable disease that's going to compromise their life quality, or if there is just too much aggression in a dog that we cannot safely adopt them out to a family. The original founders are no longer with the organization. I came around about 2005, and I started out as a foster parent and worked my way up and became the adoption coordinator, and now I am the president. I go once a week. I do a trip from Visalia to Selma, that I take up cats and dogs, sometimes a rabbit. Who knows what they're going to come up with me. But I go on Thursdays and I get them spayed and neutered, or whatever medical assistance they need. If they're an older dog, I will look at their teeth, because we know now, the more that we're looking at it, just like with us, teeth are very important to our health. Teeth are very important to their health. If you want them to live longer, you need to make sure, both on cats and dogs, that you start off their dental work really good. And so if they don't need anything else, we get them spayed, neutered. The dogs get microchipped, and then with the new California law passed, that all cats and dogs can now get their rabies vaccination at 3 months, which coincides with the rest of the nation. It's very nice because we can do the services, and 90% of the time it will include the rabies vaccination, because we usually hold on to them until about 12 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And that way they're also, they're in our homes. They're not in a shelter. They're not in an office. We don't have either one of those. We are just a network of foster homes. I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dogs and cats on my property. I actually started keeping a list, and I am, oh boy, probably well over into the 400s now on the list, but that was a couple of years after I had started. So
wow.
Oh yes.
And I know Barbara also has a lot of the animals too.
Yes, yes.
I know, since I said I got Dixie from her.
Yes. Yeah, it's just that we've been blessed that I originally had a dachshund that I wanted to get a companion for, and was in Walmart one time, saw the advertisement that they were looking for foster parents, and so I started into it, and then I kind of drug Barbara into it, like I do with everything else. We were also, at the time, we were foster parents for teen males. So this was to help them to get some calmness and get some, companionship.
And when you say teen males, you mean like humans?
Yes,
okay.
Human teen males. We had anywhere from one in our house all the way up to 4 of them in our home at a time.
And that would be great with them having exposure to the animals, and it's great for the animals too.
Right. And it helped calm a lot of them down, and so we were foster parents for various years. I don't know, about 8-9 years.
I am so impressed. I'm sorry, I just have to say, I'm so impressed with this little dog, because his kitty keeps wanting to play, and he's just chilling and having a good time. And he is up for adoption, right?
He will be.
Okay.
He was just pulled out of the Visalia Animal Shelter or Center. They recently opened up now. It's two separate entities. Valley Oak SPCA is separate from the Visalia Animal Services, but they're still next door to each other. And Barbara had been going over there for the last few days because one of her fosters, unfortunately, decided to take a hiatus, and so she's been going over, and she happened to notice this little guy here was not thriving being in a shelter situation. So she pulled him out on Saturday, and when he gets his second shot in and we evaluate him, make sure that his health is good, then towards the end of this month, we will take him up and get him neutered, microchipped, and the rabies vaccination done. And then also I do check, if they have the dew claws on the back, why they're sedated, and I do that with all the animals. I try to get all the services done with the one sedation, because we know that the anesthesia is hard on them, and I don't want to put any more pressure onto them.
Wow, that's really great that you do it that way. And then also, so this little guy, he's not a puppy, right? He's a little older?
He's an older. Yeah, he's a little bit older. Usually what I take and do, one of the first things is I will lift up and I'll take a little look. He has a little bit of tartar on his teeth, so I'm going to guess that he's probably somewhere between, 3 to 4 years old. He's not very old, but he's still the starting of the tartar on the teeth. And so, we have a wonderful vet. I've been going to him for, over 10 years now.
And he's in Selma?
And he's in Selma, and at South County Veterinarian Hospital. He's a one-man band. And the techs that work with him, a lot of them are actually in college to earn their degrees to be techs or to be veterinarians.
Wow.
And so, and he works with a few of the different rescues in the area, and so we were lucky that when he decided to scale back, because he's getting a little bit older, that we were one of the few that got to stay with him. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, that's great. It sounds like he's doing a great job for the animals.
Yes. Yeah.
And if he's in Selma, so you guys are located in Visalia.
Right.
And so Selma is pretty much in between, Fresno and Visalia, so it's convenient.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's like, what's going on? I'm on camera.
You go to Mama, and I'll take the kitty.
The demon.
Yes, this is the other demon child. Now, on cats, we do a little bit different, is that we wait until they're about 7, 8 weeks old, and we're one of the only rescues that actually test for AIDS and leukemia.
Wow.
And because
that's important.
Yeah, because those are transmittable diseases between cats. And we don't want one of our cats to go into somebody's home and infect maybe another cat that's already there. So we take it and we do spend out the cost. We'd rather get them tested than have them microchipped. Microchipping is only $15 a lot of times. And this way here, if we find that they are positive, then we do not take them into our organization. Unfortunately, that would be one of the cases where we would euthanize, only because the life is compromised. It's not a pretty ending for them, and I wouldn't even want to go through that. I mean, if I can raise my hand and say, "Look, you let me just go now," I would, I know that they are, because it takes away their sight, it takes away their ability to clean, and they lose weight, and it's just not right.
Right.
And so, but when this little one here, in about maybe, 4 weeks?
Yeah, 3.
3 weeks, he'll be tested, and then, she. Sorry,
It's harder to tell with cats. I know, I have a problem, but not Barbara. She knows.
A lot of the ladies, they can lift up the tail and they can tell the sex of a cat right away. Me, no. I'm more of the dog person. That one there, turn on the strip. Yep, that one's a boy. Yep, that one's a girl.
That's so much easier. Yeah. You know what? I had adopted one of the, like I said, I adopted rabbits from you guys, and I adopted one of the rabbits, and they told me it was a female, and so I gave it a female name, and then I took it to the vet, and the vet to get it fixed, and the vet goes, no, this is a male. So then I had to come up with a different name. But it was a little bunny, and it's hard to tell.
Right. And on some animals, it's very hard to tell unless you have somebody that who's fostering for us that has experience with them. And I know with us, we have people that prefer just to do cats, people that prefer to do dogs. We have Barbara that will do both. I do have one cat in my property, and she's kind of our mascot. And then I do have one foster parent that does birds.
Oh, okay.
And then we also work with another rescue group that they are not a nonprofit like we are, so they don't have some of the ability to go out and do some of the shows like we do. So they go underneath our blanket, and it's Gabby's Animal Rescue, and she also does different animals too, and they sometimes will do reptiles.
Oh,
And
wow.
so,
I know people like reptiles.
and so, yeah, it's you know it's a different world, and but that way since she doesn't have the ability to be a 501c3, she comes out to like PetSmart on Sundays, and she's there under our umbrella, and then we do Petco in Visalia every other Saturday, and she doesn't usually go out to that one, but she can go to that one if she chooses to. But for her to try to do it, she couldn't because of not being the right status. And it works out. She's the one who does our blood draws for our
wow.
to do our testing of our cats. And then in return, it's you scratch our back, we scratch yours, and so it gives her another way. Also, if I'm not using all the spaces on my spay and neuter run, I also give them over to her, and I will transport hers to get done.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, this particular vet, he has the most reasonable prices, and we've tried to work with some other vets. We understand not everybody can come down, but this vet here has always worked, and
he does a good job.
Yes,
So, I mean,
yes.
that's like obviously
Right,
very
right.
important, if not the most important
yes,
thing.
yeah. And then, going back with, the kitten, the other reason why we wait a little bit on the kittens, too, is because we found out if we do them before they are 12 weeks old, especially the females, they are not fully developed in the reproductive system. And it's like the fallopian and their ovary is like a piece of string with a knot on the end. If that is not completely taken out with the rest of the uterus, the females can still go in heat.
Oh,
So
wow.
waiting that couple of extra weeks helps us out too, and also, like I said, brings us to the 12 weeks. That way, I know in my heart that I've done, everything
Right.
that we can, because I don't want people to adopt and have problems down the road. I'd rather for us to get all the problems on our shoulders, whether it be the parvo, the distemper, giardia, coccidia, whatever it is. They're in our homes. We're going to take care of them one-on-one.
Right.
They're not locked up in a shelter where they don't get the one-on-one attention that they need. And then if they start to go downhill, I can rush them up to the vet at any time. So it just, we try just to give them the best that we can, because we don't ever want to see them, have these issues again. I work with a couple of different people. I have a lady who's a postal carrier. She has a rural route, and she knows all of her dogs on a route. And so when she does see a new dog out there, she will watch for a couple of days. If nobody comes by and picks the dog up, she will make arrangements to capture the dog, and then she will hold the dog for me for a couple of weeks until I get an opening, and then it comes into my home. Well, see, that way we're already going through that stage of where they're going to get anything, even before they get to my house, it's already resolved and taken care of.
Right.
So
that's so you obviously take a very proactive approach.
Right.
Which is great, and that, puts people at ease. I mean, it put me at ease, because like I said, I've adopted animals before, and I've loved all of them, and they become my babies. And Dixie, that's my latest one, and she was 12 when we got her. And, some people go, why do you want to adopt an older dog? I'm like, well, an older dog is a love too,
Yes,
and
yes.
she doesn't act like she's 12. You got to see this dog. She got excellent care from Love of Animals, in Barbara's house. And this dog, she leaps and hops. I've never seen a dog do that, and very smart, very, very smart. So anyway, I want you to tell people, like, I'm sure you be nonprofit, you accept donations.
Yes, we do.
And so if they want to contact you, either to volunteer, to adopt, to donate, what's the best way?
The best way is to send me an email at info at loveofanimals.org. And then we do have a PayPal account that if you would like to make a donation, it's donate at loveofanimal.org for the PayPal. And we do have people that the farthest away, I believe we had one donation come in from Germany.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, because people
Because they hear of your organization.
Right,
Oh my God, that just gives me goosepimples.
and then we'll have people come up on the weekends when we're out there. If their dog or cat's outgrowing something, and it's gently used, they will donate it over to us. And the
Wow.
one part is that they know that we are nonprofit, so if they want to have a tax deduction, that they're more than welcome. We have receipts right there on site. And then we do have, for the feeding of the animals, we were blessed that Walmart has actually donated to us.
Wow.
And so I get a call usually once a week, once every other week, and I go over, pick up whatever they have for the animals, and then I distribute it out to the other foster homes, and that way there, it helps to supplement on that part there. And then we also have Save Mart, who sends us a donation too from the shares cards. Well, they got rid of the shares cards, and now you have to sign up through eScripts.
Right.
Well, what I do like about that is because you can connect it up with a credit card that you use or a debit card you use all the time, and there's more places you can go to shop. And then you also, instead of it just being for one organization, they allow you to actually make your donation go to 3 organizations at a time. So we're hoping that people will understand that part and start to sign up to come back with us through the eScript, because the funds that we were getting through the Save Mart helps us a lot to do feral colonies, helps us to get some of that extra that we need to do on the cats and dogs for medical. So yeah.
And I totally get it, and I'll tell you, because I would use your card, right, when I'd go in there. And when this new program came up, I said, I want to know that it's going to them, and because I did sign up like they told me, and at first they were kind of fuzzy about it, but now they said, yes, either through the phone number
Right.
or through the credit card that you use. Whatever. I like the phone number part because that way if my sister goes in, she can put my phone number in, and we're sure that it's all going to them, and so that's very important. And yeah, that's really. And I've offered this to you before, but I also want to offer it to other people out there. Some people know some of my different businesses. I'm a real estate agent, and I have offered that if anybody from the organization mentions that they are involved with love of animals and they send me a client that it results in a closed transaction, I donate a percentage of that to Love of Animals as a donation. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Yes.
It's very important. I've been a long-standing donor anyway, but now that I have the real estate business, I figure it's a win-win, and, I'm all about giving back. That's reason why I even came up with this show.
Right.
I want to support people. I want organizations and people that just have a heart and are passionate and are doing good things. Like this organization, I just can't say enough about it because, like I said, I've adopted dogs and rabbits, and all of them have been well taken care of. And it's just, you should see my 12, well, she's 13 now, we've had her a year. And that one, actually, I adopted that one to replace another one that I had lost that I had gotten from them. We had her like 9 years or something. She ended up coming down with cancer. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that because I'll start crying. But, really, and it's just, I can't thank you enough for all the work and you guys are very passionate, and you live your dream, and you help these little beings.
And
so
we're doing
important.
it from the heart because
Yes.
none of us get a paycheck for doing this.
Oh, I
This is
know.
all straight volunteer. The only thing that the organization gives back to me is a mileage reimbursement, and that's it. And that's the only thing I ask for from them. Other than that, it's a lot of time out of my my schedule and everything to do with what I do, because it's not just showing the animals. It's running a business. There's taxes that have to be taken care
yeah.
of, insurance that has to be done.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Even to do this event, you have
Yeah.
to have insurance to cover it. And we're almost out of time. You were going to talk about an adoption event or something that's coming up.
yes, on Saturday, I almost said February, May 14th, we will actually be here in Fresno.
Okay.
At the Valley Animal Center over on, I believe it's Hayston Street. But it runs, when I was attending Fresno State, I was actually watching this facility being built. But what it is, it's going to be from 9 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, and they'll have different agencies there that will have their adoptable dogs. All of them will be spayed, neutered. Some of them will be microchipped. Others you can get microchipped. There will also be information booths there. And then plus you get to view the facility. And the one thing I do like about this facility is that they have a dog waiting pool there. They have an agility area. So it's very, very pet friendly.
Wow.
So yeah,
That sounds
and
great.
we've done this, and we've done this every year that we could possibly get in there. They stopped it for a few years, but now they brought it back, and we are happy to be back with them.
And so you hear that on May 14th in Fresno at the Valley.
Valley Animal Center.
Okay, so check that out. And then also, like she said, like Laurie said, they are at, you said PetSmart in Visalia every Sunday?
We're at the almost every Sunday from 11 to 3. We will not be out there this coming Sunday because it is Mother's Day. But we will be out Saturday, and it's usually every other Saturday, at the Petco in Visalia on Caldwell and Mooney. And again, that's from 11 to 3 in the afternoon. And that way there, we'll be out Saturday because, like I said, we're going to take Sunday off. And then the following weekend, we'll be up here in Fresno again for the super adoption. Then we'll be back to PetSmart. And then we have, I think, one more weekend, but like Memorial Day weekend, because we are dealing with people and I don't want him to get burned out. We take the major holidays off.
Well, that makes sense. You got it. Yeah, that
because
totally makes
the only
sense.
way that we're going to keep going is that people have to understand I have to realize everybody that's working with us is human too.
Oh, well, yeah, and you want them to be rested and everything. Okay, like I said, we're almost out of time. Just a few seconds. Tell your number or your email, whatever's the best way to get a hold of you so people can contact you.
You can either contact me directly at Laurie, Laurie, at loveofanimals.org or info, INFO, at loveofanimals.org. I read both of those accounts, so they come straight to me.
Okay, again, thank you so much
Oh,
for
no
all
problem.
you do, items, and
Yeah.
and then also to the vet that she was talking about in Selma. So again, and if you guys want to come on the show, you can contact me or call Central Valley Talk. And again, live your dream. It's about you, and I'd love to have you and promote you. Thank you so much for being here.